Welcome back to the channel. Today is Fintastic Tuesday and we're doing a house tour today. All the updates on all of our awesome tanks. So let's get started and don't forget to subscribe.
Starting off in our racking system, this is a 4-foot shelf from Walmart with added 1x6 boards for stability, as well as wood under the shelf to distribute the weight. This can hold approximately 3,200 pounds. The lighting used is shop lighting from Rural King, and we keep that on about 6 hours.
Now I am going to be putting a little text blurb in each corner to let you know the filter, heater, and what type of lighting is used for each tank. So that way it saves me a little bit of time.
This first tank is our electric blue Acara and Pleco tank. There's some hornwort and wood in there, and they're just growing out. In this 20-gallon, we have our oldest and biggest electric blue Acara, as well as some hornwort and duckweed. We're trying to find new homes for those guys. This is our all Pleco tank. We do wish that the clutches were coming out more lemon because we have a lemon blue-eye female and an albino male, and all the babies are coming out standard. In this tank, we have our polar parrot fry and our peace lily roots, which are huge. And we are moving them down into our bottom tank of our rack to join their siblings, which will make room for our newest batch of electric blue Acara. They've been spending a lot of time with their mom, and our male has been stuck in its little breeding box, so it's ready to come back out and join its female. Speaking of the electric blue Acara parents, this is our 40-gallon breeder tank that we use for our parents, and it contains some sweet potato, swords, crip, rotala, as well as some Ludwigia and a peace lily coming out of the top.
Hey, whilst you're here, thanks for watching. Could you also subscribe? I also wanted to add in here that all the tanks up top have terrestrial plants in it, which means they have either a pothos or a peace lily coming out of the top of it. We also have a little brine shrimp hatchery that is a little 2-liter bottle that my husband has rigged up with a little bubbler so that he can hatch brine shrimp to feed all of our babies and really all of our tanks, because who doesn't love brine shrimp?
On the bottom shelf, we have our mutt guppy tank. We are thinking about starting a line breed though. This is the only tank on the bottom, this one and the 40-gallon, that are scaped, and it does contain some plecos as well as guppies, and some hornwort, crips, anubias, and sword. In the bottom middle tank, we have our polar fry as well as plant storage. We currently have an ocelot sword, crypt, and anubias on a rock in there. All our polar fry are here except the newest hatchings. Those are still with the polar parents. Attached to this tank is our little breeder box, which has constant water changes for our new fry. It is not currently holding any fry, but will be soon. The last tank is, of course, our snail tank, but we also have some platy fry that are growing out in here, as well as a peace lily and some limestone for pH and calcium that helps our snail shells. We do sprinkle some eggshell in there from time to time as well. Next to the racking system, we have this breeding jar, and it currently has just one pregnant platy that we have been waiting to give birth. It also has some moss in there, a heater, and sponge.
I'll stop bugging you if you subscribe. Of course, you knew that was coming, right?
Moving on to our 36 bow front tank. This holds our red tiger platy breeder colony, as well as an albino bristlenose and neocaridina shrimp. This is a planted tank which features Anubias and Rotala, and it has a sand substrate, some wood, pink rocks, and it's been scaped for about 6 months. Next up is our most established 10-gallon beta tank. This is a planted tank that includes Anubias, peace lily, and Ludwigia. It also has some coolie loaches, neocaridina shrimp, and our most favorite betta, Sonic. This is our 20-gallon Blue Dream breeder colony tank. It has 2 mystery snails and 2 bristlenose plecos. It's also one of my favorite planted tanks, which includes swords, hairgrass, and Anubias. And in this tank, it has just exploded with life, and we can't wait to share some of these blue dreams with our clients. Here we have our line bred guppies. These are our purple dragon mosaic guppies. And there's hornwort, duckweed, and rotala in there, as well as a mystery snail. And we are really excited to get some more fry very soon.
Up next, I am going to show you 2 tanks that we made for our kids. If you're interested in seeing the tank builds, check the link in the description below.
First is my son Charlie's 5-gallon beta tank and his 1 guppy friend. The beta's name is Armando, as well as there's a planted Anubias and Crypt. And in my daughter's 5-gallon tank, we have Cosmo, her beautiful beta, and another guppy friend, but they are not very good friends. We also have an Anubias in a pot, a Crypt, and a Rotala. Our beautifully and recently scaped Angelfish tank is a 37-gallon tall tank. It's still doing very well and everyone looks very healthy. We do have some featured plants which include Anubias, a flamesword, and Rotala. In this tank we have our polar breeding pair, and they hate plants except for the Anubias. That's the only plant left hanging on, and the duckweed grows wonderfully. They have some new fry that are growing out with the parents to kind of slow down the amount of breeding. The boy polar parrot tends to hide away from the female, which is kind of funny to watch. Last but certainly not least is our 75-gallon cichlid tank. It does have a sand substrate and is a planted tank with 5 swords, Anubias, and stonework to make caves. We did adjust the lights in this tank, which has caused a little bit of brown diatom algae, but it'll clear up here shortly. We also have 1 Chinese algae eater and 2 neorite snails that have hung on. And these fish still leave the plants alone.
That completes our house tour at this time. We will see you in the next one. Turn on bell notification. Blah, blah, blah.